Chains were broken from my slaver. Favor, glory.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy D-Lo here, part two. I know I ain't in the studio. I'm in the kitchen today. Actually, I've been in the kitchen for a little minute. Just been in here cooking. You know, why? If you cook food, why I can't cook music? You know what I'm saying? Uh, but listen, yeah, the kitchen has unlocked some real good seasoning for me. I've been in my office and couldn't even record. I had some producer's block, some writer's block. I was sitting in my office for a few hours and wouldn't be able to create. And I sat right here one day at the kitchen table and just started creating. And then I just got accustomed to it. So I just brought my equipment down and just started, creating in the kitchen. And 3, 4 albums later, I've been creating here. So we in the kitchen today. If Jada could do it at the red table, I could do it at the clear table, huh? Ha ha. But we here in the kitchen, we cooking, and the record that I'm pulling up today is "Voyage" by James Fortune featuring Waka Flocka. Many of y'all know that record. If you haven't, go to iTunes, Spotify right now, download it. It debuted at #1 on Amazon, all genres, meaning pop, R&B, hip hop, gospel. It debuted at #1 on Amazon, Christian and all genres. And it debuted at #1 on Billboard on the first week. And so digital sales, not even airplay, digital sales, that's the big boy. So I'm grateful for that. Shout out to Waka Flocka for blessing the record. Shout out to Will Powell for writing the record with me. And then shout out to the main man himself, my brother from another mother, one of my best friends, James Fortune. This record is amazing. I had the privilege on producing this record. It's just been a journey, man. It's been a journey, and I wanted to bring something different, the gospel, a different light. Ironically, I did this record like 2 years ago. This is like 2021, pandemic. And yeah, and I started. Actually, the crazy thing is this record was supposed to be for Janet. Uh, the A&R team, I got in touch with the A&R team, and she was looking for some Janet Jackson at that. For those who y'all don't know who I'm talking about. And their team was, I was in touch with an A&R, and she wanted to do an Afro record. Now I don't know how far that went. I don't know where it was with that, but I created one of this record um, for Janet, and of course, obviously it didn't go through. So another man's trash is another man's treasure. You know what I mean? So shout out to Anders Nordstrom, who I told him, man, I got a little a beat, and I want you to add some guitar, and he gave me that ding, and it was history. I just started creating on top of it, and 2 years later, we got a hit. And actually, the record was supposed to come out last year, 2022, and we held. This is one of the first records that was done, obviously, because it was done before every other on the My Life record. It was supposed to be on the James Fortune My Life record. It didn't make the record. We missed the deadline, and we just was like, huh, we should put it out. We had got some advice to not put it out because they felt like it was such a big record. And so yeah, sometimes you just gotta wait. So for those who are producers, writers who are, discouraged about songs that you've written and produced years ago, a lot of times records uh, are not meant to come out when it's created. I did another record called Anyhow for Ty Tribbett. It was on the last All Things New, was a single for the album. I did that record 5 years ago, and All Things New just had came out, last year. And so, sometimes just letting it marinate, sometimes you got to season that chicken. We in the kitchen. Sometimes you got to let that meat season and let it marinate overnight. Sometimes you let meat marinate for 2 nights, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what type of meat it is. So anyway, I'm talking, but I just want to give you a little history background on this record. So James, I had told him I had an idea and I wanted him to just sing. He thought I was crazy. And I was like, bruh, trust me, you gonna shock the people. And he was like, man, you know, he was down, you know, even throughout the record, he's like, maybe I should talk. Maybe I should, you know, have my classic talk. I said, don't even talk, just sing. You know, music has evolved to feeling good. Like it felt good for him to sing. Like there are a lot of good songs out here that doesn't have great singers per se, but the music and the delivery feels so good. So I told him, I said, hey man, you know, you got to capture the young folk too, man. You got to get what's hip to the mainstream side. And he did it. He came in, he sung it a few takes, and we picked, you know, which take it was, and you know, put a little tune on them, and look, we got a whole record later. And so yeah, and one thing about Afro beats as well, I had to learn. I got to give a special shout out to my boy Elijah from Nigeria. He helped me with the drum programming and producing. And the first part of this record was so quantized. He was like, that's not how Afro goes. And I was just like, because I was quantized. I was really on grid. Like, matter of fact, you could probably see right now. You see how far this is off grid? This is on grid right here. I'm gonna solo it. You know, and you see how I'm gonna put the click on. It's supposed to be right there. You hear how it's off? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So he was like, man, no, you gotta have that thing off grid. It has to be off grid. I'm gonna play another sound for you. And you can see when I open it up, all this space, and that means off grid. On grid is if I was to put everything on grid, line it up with, you know, the time signature, you know, right here. That would be on grid. But everything has to be off grid to make it feel good. When I first sent it to him, everything was on grid. And of course, you know, we're taught to make sure everything is on grid. And, you know, some songs do not permit things being on grid. Shout out to Rodney Jerkins as well, you know, using the MPC. MPC has its own swing. So, but with Logic, you know, you have to really do, you know, quantize it or unquantize it. Sometimes I can go into my, let's see here. Let me open my drums up. I got a whole another folder of drums. Let's see where you at. So right here. So if I go to my hi-hats right here, I can actually come into here and change the quantize to swing and keep the strength down. You know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't quantize these. I just played it freehand. So that's a key. You know, I had some, you know, Nigerians and Africans hit me up and say, man, this is the closest American producer I've heard do a great Afro beat. And that's because, shout out to my guy again, Elijah, who really put me on how to play. And he's playing bass on here. This is who played bass on the record. So you can even see him. Yeah, he's behind a little bit. Yeah. He's not quite on grid. You can see it. So even right here, you see how the space is between here? See how he has space on off the grid? So Afrobeat is very, you gotta study, man. Look at these, look at another space between the grid. How far he is. It's all about swag. You gotta have certain swag, man. And so,
overflow. I keep on
yeah.
thanking you. You keep on
Woo.
coming through.
Yeah, so that's the major key with Afro beats. Get off grid. Don't even stay on grid. Now don't get so off grid where it's just la 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 like that. But make sure it feels good, you know. It's just behind the beat a little bit. I tell drummers and musicians all the time, a lot of times let the track lead you and play slightly behind it. A lot of times it don't cause to quantize. You don't have to quantize anything because it just brings in emotion and feel good. As you can see, I have a lot going on. There's a lot that goes into Afro beats. I didn't sample. I didn't do anything. These are everything that's played out. Every little minor clap, every little minor sound matters. Even in like, you know, my floor tom. You hear how it's off grid? Oh. Everything has its own purpose. Look at the shakers. Whew. 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 It's like salt. We in the kitchen. It's like salt. All these are percussions. We call them perks. Look at the hi-hat. Everything has a purpose. See? Cool. Now I'm gonna just keep adding sound so you can feel the process of it. Open hi-hat. Space. You know what I'm saying? Here we go again. I'm gonna just loop this part. Yeah. Floor time. Hear that? Conga. Y'all feel that? Now it's starting to feel good. Now it's coming. Everything has its purpose. Rim shot. See how it sounds like everything's off beat, but that's the Nigerian way. That's the African way. It just feels good. Here we go. Another rim shot. I got like 3 rim shots in here. Like 3 different shakers. I'm gonna do another shaker. Different sonics. You see now how it's feeling good? So it looked like there's a lot going on, which it is a lot going on. But, you know, and I got different plugins on different situations. So my floor time, since it's low, I got a DBX 160 on there. That brings out that low end, that bottom end on there. So my EQs are different, and I got the Pewtech EQ on there too as well. That helps with that low end and let it you know cut through. Then on my rim shot, I got my SSL channel. You know that's gonna make it cut through the mix as well. I also like to bypass my lows like 30 hertz. You know what I'm saying? Like so it can cut through the mix as well. So you go. Now listen to the other tone. Woo. Woo. Now on this tom, I got my DBX 160 and my SSL because it's moving. It depends on what's moving. So see what? I'm gonna turn the click off so you can feel it. Now look. Woo. You hear the space? Everything has its own little. I'm gonna add some wood. Everything space. Everything has a purpose. If everything stay in its lane, it's gonna move. It looks like a lot, but it doesn't sound like it's a lot because everything has its purpose. And look, I got certain things panned. My congas to the right. I got them like 20 plus 21 to the right. My clap is centered. I got my swipes negative 18 to the left. My open hi-hat is negative 18 to the left. My other hi-hat is negative 18 to the left. So I got my hi-hats going to the left. I got my congas to the right. I got my rim shot in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to know frequencies and understand where to put. So, and if you have everything in the center, it's not going to feel right. So you got to have that thing moving. That's why it's moving like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, see how that thing moving? I'm on grid, but I'm off grid. You know what I'm saying? Nah, get my clap. Now it's moving. And then I also got things moving. I think this is like the chorus. I don't have everything moving on the verse. So that thing is moving. So now here's the special thing right here. Here's my guitar. Now here's some sauce for you. All right, we need an offering for this one. I'm giving y'all some sauce. You know how you go in the kitchen, you go back, and you like, man. The sauce is the guitars are on grid. They're actually on. Watch. They're actually direct quantized on grid. You can actually see it. I'm gonna pull it up. Look, we on grid. Look how they line up. They on grid. Look, it's on grid. Grid. Everything is on. Everything's on grid. So the trick is, it's like, have you ever put batteries in a remote or batteries in something? Batteries don't function unless you have a positive and a negative. Any type of battery. You go in your car dead and you need a new battery, you have the red and you have the black. You have a negative and you have a positive. Here, I call this the negative and the positive. The positive is, what's right is putting that guitar on grid, is direct on grid. But that negative is the drums off grid. That's what makes that bounce like, oh my God, like it's a different feeling. Like, so I'm a solo just the drum, just the percussions and the guitar. All right, so you hear that? You don't even know which way to bounce. It's like them drums off grid and the guitar is on. But see, that's what makes the Afrobeat the Afrobeat, because I call them loopholes. It's like left, right. You don't have two right hands. You don't have two left hands. It's like the on, off, on. That's why you can feel it. Now, if everything was on grid, you wouldn't be able to feel it like how it's felt. If everything was on grid, you wouldn't be able to. It would just be bump, 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 bump. It'd be nice, but the fact that it's dum, 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 bump, bump, it's a contrast. You got your left, right, left, right, left. Here, you feel? Right, left. That thing is moving. You know what what I'm saying? So that's one thing I love about it. Shout out to Anders for laying the guitar down for me. Then my guy laid some, since he's Nigerian, he laid some vocal sample down. That's actually him. And I sampled him and just kind of tweaked it how I need to tweak it. You know what I mean? I put a S1 imager on him. I'm gonna just open it up so y'all can see to, you know, widen the perspective of the vocals. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna get deeper. Let's go deeper. Everybody say let's go deeper. We got that food in the kitchen, yan. You know what I mean? So we got the bells too as well. So I kind of put the music on grid and the drums off grid. Again, that's going back to our contract. Here's some more percussion. Ooh. Ooh. Y'all hear that? Those are real claps, real percussion. You could tell, off grid, baby. It's off grid. So I'm gonna add some vocal. Shout out to my boy Elijah. Yeah, that's him. Y'all hear that? Ooh. It just got a feeling on.
It's impossible. Blessings overflow. You've unchained my soul.
Woo.
Whenever I feel lonely,
It just makes it. So I put everything on the hook. Those are the hook. But on the verse, I took everything out. As you can see, this is the verse. All of that's gone. All of this is the hook. It's important to tell the story. So yeah, I just got one sound going. Space is important when you're doing records. Space sells. Space sells. You know, even when you want to put all your licks and stuff in there and you want to do all kind of stuff, it's so cool. But the consumer, they're gonna buy this before they buy anything that's. So, my verses, I kept it open. I added a little extra guitar in there. You see how I got this pan? I got this pan -37 to the left, -38 to the right. I always do it differently. I don't really have it the same because it's like, it messes with the ears a little bit. My trap drums. Now the hook come in. Look. Everything has its place. Now look at my mallets. Look at my mallets. See how it's off grid? I got them pan all the way to the left. Imaging. I got them on the second half of the chorus. Everything has to move. Most people put all their drums throughout the whole song. You might as well make a click track. You know, you might as well make a click. No, what I do is certain sounds have purpose. It only may come on the second half of the chorus. It may come on the first half, but you can tell the sound is there. See? So before I get to the special part, well, the whole song is special, but these background vocals are killing. So as you can see, I wanted to make it very airy, very Beyonce-ish, if I could say it like that. So I got my reverb channel. Y'all hear that? Watch how the contrast. I hear that reverb all effect channel. I'm playing off of both of them. I'm playing like it's a counter. It's like la 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 la. Yeah, yeah. Then I got her doing yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to Jasmine, Mignon, Ariana. We only had 3 ladies on here. Normally, for certain records, we have multiple people singing, but we didn't have no guys on this record because we wanted to make it simple and yet effective. See. I was trying to do everything my way. Woo. Just sing one part. Woo. Woo. See, vocals are important on albums. I'm a musician, but one thing I had to learn, and I saw Reverb say this, the best way to describe a great producer is how he produced vocals. How he produced vocals. I spent a lot of time on these vocals. Making sure they sound right. Shout out to Ike too, the engineer, multi-platinum engineer, especially on the mainstream side, that helped with the sound as well. And so, listen, you hear them. You gotta have them ad libs in there, man. Like ad libs matter. I'm gonna tell. Yeah, y'all hear that in the background? Y'all hear it? It's like they bouncing off a wall. Y'all hear? It's bouncing. It's bouncing. It's the little things that you only hear when the finished product come, but it's like, dog, that's what's making it sound like that. Like that bouncing off the wall is crazy.
Listen, I hope you are enjoying this episode of In the Kitchen with D-Lo, but I got something really, really crazy that I want to show you. Check this out.
When you got one of those modes where I don't know what to do, I'm stuck.
You're right.
All I do is listen to something like that, and it's like, okay, now
whoa.
I got something.
Exactly.
I have like every single plugin. For some plugins, you be spending like hours just trying to find that one sound. You took the time to really curate and find like a group of like sounds that's really usable, that get straight to the point.
You're giving them enough to get started, so they can walk into a room with someone and be like, all right, man, what am I missing?
I love the plug-in, man. I think it's incredible. I think people are gonna be like, wow. I mean, you got the sounds, people looking for sounds like that. Look, now they just get the plug-in.
You know what I mean? So you literally can just cook a complete record, like just from this plug-in. And for me, it's like not about a whole bunch of sounds, it's about production.
He gonna come out the gate sounding legit.
Yeah.
Out the gate sounding legit because of something like this. So I'm telling everybody, man, get the juice pack.
It's the truth, bro. I got to have it.
It's fire. It's definitely juice. D-Lo got the juice.
So I'm gonna add James. So while James is singing,
You couldn't lose my ropes. It's impossible to thank you for my overflow. I keep on thanking you. You keep on coming through.
it's telling the story.
I keep on thanking
Y'all hear it?
you.
But this,
You keep on coming through.
there you go again.
Bondage had me low. You couldn't lose my ropes. It's impossible to thank you for my over.
So one of the other Ariana had. Yeah, she not really singing the song. I just told her to sing. You hear that? I kept all that in there, the laugh, everything. That's what makes records. So when I solo all of the vocals and everything, this is how it sounds.
Bondage had me low. You cut loose my ropes. It's impossible to thank you for my overflow. I keep on thanking you.
Woo.
You keep on coming through. I keep on thanking you. You keep on coming through.
So the trick is always have the leads, the backgrounds, and all the effects surrounding it. So you hear the leads, you hear the BGVs, but all the other effects is like around it. And that way I don't have to do too much because they're like auxiliary. Backgrounds are auxiliary keyboards. If you doing it right and you place them right, put the right effects and the right verb on it, you can go and it can, man, you can do so much with this, man. It's like, that's why it sound the way it sound. So, so I had Ariana. You hear her? She's actually singing over Waka Flocka. So I'm a solo walks. So.
Through. Lost, I was going hard in the paint, full breakthrough. Lost brothers, but I never lost you. Lost, but I'm found now. The wild boy, calm down. You know I owe it all to you.
Yes.
Jesus wept, mama cried too. I live to tell the stories how you went through the fire, left with the flame, carrying the torch, Waka Floka Flame. Squad, 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 squad.
So I got his, I double his lead. You always want to double your lead. So I double it. As you can see, the main one, I'm gonna color it so you guys can see it. So the main one is, this is his main. And then I double it, I'm gonna color this one. Yeah, so y'all can really see the difference. So the main one is the pink. And then as you can see the wave differences, it's smaller. That's why it sound the way it sound.
I was going hard in the paint, full breakthrough. Lost brothers, but I never lost you.
And of course I put a telephone effect on his ad-libs and bypassed. I put a simple little stock plug-in band pass filter. Bypassed his lows, upgraded his highs or his mids. And just kept.
Lost, but I'm found now. The wild boy, calm down. You know I owe it all to you. Jesus wept, mama cried too.
Mama.
I live to tell the stories how you went through the fire, left with the flame, carrying the torch, Waka Floka Flame. Squad, 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 squad.
So it's 3 different squads. First of all, I got the crunk one pan to the right. I got the other one as ad-lib pan to the left, and I got his main stack squad center. And all of them have different tones. So let's check them out.
Squad, 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 squad.
Let's check this one out.
Squad, 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 squad.
Different tones. Different tones.
Squad, 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 squad.
Now look when you put them together.
Squad, 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 squad.
It gives you that effect.
The wild boy calm down. You know I owe it all of you. Jesus wept, mama cried too. I live to tell the
You hear the difference?
Went through the fire, left with the flame, carrying the torch, Waka Floka Flame. Squad.
You hear the difference? It's a big difference.
I was going hard in the paint, full breakthrough. Lost.
See, if you just would have did a simple one, it wouldn't have had that effect.
I was going hard in the paint, full breakthrough.
So shout out to my boy Will too, Will Power. The effect we wanted was like that, the Tupac, you know, type of feel, you know, the mama, you know what I mean? Just having that whole da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. We wanted that effect. So
I was going hard in the paint, full breakthrough. Lost brothers, but I never lost you. Lost, but I'm found now. The wild boy, calm down. You know I owe it all to you. Jesus wept, mama cried too. I live to tell the stories how you went through the fire.
Y'all hear Ariana singing in the background?
Full breakthrough.
Just reverb. So I took the reverb channel and just made it a main channel. That way it ain't heard, it ain't overbearing. You know what I'm saying? So
Full breakthrough. Pride to, I live to tell.
yeah.
With the flame, carrying the torch, Waka Floka Flame. Squad, 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 squad.
Now we back at it. See that? So let me go to my kick. So I'm a big kick fan. So my kicks have to slap. As you can see, I have 3 different kicks. So y'all hear that? I got 3 different kicks. That's what makes it. Got that kick. Hear the different tones. Then I got my punchy kick. Call him punch. Hear that? So when you put all 3 of them together, and I ain't even got him doing the double. I just got him introducing. So it's just giving that, you know what I'm saying? Doo-doo. Each one has a different wave. Look, this one hits harder. This one is not hitting hard. This one hits hard, but it's not doing the double. This double over here is not the same. So it's different. All right? Yep. See? And you see how it's not on grid? It's not on grid like, 3 different kicks. That's why it sounds the way it sounds. It's punching. See that? So I got this one at -1.5. I got this one at -0.9. Both of these at -0.9. That's why it's hitting. That's why it's hitting like that. Kick. So when everything play in context, when everything play in context, it's going sonically, it's just making it hit hard. It's hitting hard. So that's the record, y'all. Like it's pretty much it's like I explained everything. I doubled James as well on the vocals.
You've unchained my soul.
Clean.
Listen, I hope you are enjoying this episode of In the Kitchen with DLO, but I got something really, really crazy that I want to show you. Check this out.
When you got one of those modes where I don't know what to do, I'm stuck.
You're right.
All I do is listen to something like that, and it's like, okay, now
whoa.
I got something.
Exactly.
I have like every single plugin. For some plugins, you be spending like hours just trying to find that one sound. You took the time to really curate and find like a group of like sounds that's really usable, that get straight to the point.
You're giving them enough to get started so they can walk into a room with someone and be like, all right, man, what am I missing?
I love the plug-in, man. I think it's incredible. I think people are gonna be like, wow. I mean, you got the sounds, people looking for sounds like that. Look, now they just get the plug-in.
You know what I mean? So you literally can just cook a complete record, like just from this plugin. And for me, it's like not about a whole bunch of sounds, it's about production.
He gonna come out the gate sounding legit.
Yeah.
Out the gate sounding legit because of something like this. So I'm telling everybody, man, get the juice pack.
It's the truth, bro. I got to have it.
It's fire. It's definitely juice. D-Lo got the juice.
So then I'm gonna give y'all another trick I did. I sample. So I basically took a piece of the song and I put it in my Q sampler. And so you can see I'm actually playing it on my keyboard. So I opened the Q sampler. See that? So I did that. I took a sample of the song and I just sampled my own self.
I keep on thanking you.
You know what I'm saying? I keep on thanking you. Here you go another one. I took that's James.
I keep on thanking you. 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 I keep on thanking you.
All I did was just speed it up, you know, put it on tempo. So there are different channels that I have so I can make sure the sample come out right. I hear it. That's like the new wave now. You know what I'm saying? Ugh.
I keep on thanking you.
Hear it? Yeah. Yeah. So I did it with this one too. I did two of them.
It's possible to thank you for my overflow. It's possible to thank you. It's possible to thank you for my overflow.
So basically, I just chose the section of the song. Cause like if I did it like this, then it goes there. So I just chose a section of the song. Yeah. And so I did that. It's just understanding, you know, sonics and listening to what's out. I actually did the same thing in the beginning. So what I did was, this is my sample. I sample myself. Hear it? So you hear it? So I kind of did two. So I use, yep. So instead of one key, I use, so this is my A on my keyboard. So I'm saying, yeah. You can do whatever you want. Anytime you can do it. Yeah. You can have fun with it. And so, and then in the beginning of the record, as you can see, when it's blank in Logic like this, so I cut the beginning of the record, right? As you can see, I cut it and I made one file right here, this file. So I cut it and then I bounced in one place. So normally you can do it like this. So if you want to cut anything, like I just double click and I bounced in one place. If I unmute it, I bounced in one place. All right. It does that. It'll bounce in one place and it'll make one file. So I wanted the intro of the record to be nostalgic, if I can say that. Oh, look here. I think I bounced a lot of the record. I should have chose what I need to chose. Oh man, now it's going all the way. Y'all probably could edit that. Oh, there we go. So here's the channel that it made, but this is the channel. So I'm gonna delete that, right? I'm going to mute everything back. And I'm gonna show you guys, I just want to show you guys what it was. So look at this right here. Oh, sorry. So this is that bounce. So what I did on this bounce, right? Yeah, I hear it. There's so much you can do on, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like, here you go. So all I did was bypass the lows again. This time I went to like 50, negative 50. So it can sound muffled. So it's just playing. And then when the rest of the track come in, so I put that vocal effect on James to crescendo in, and then see the reverse on the vocal effect. So you know, it's just certain things, man, that you can do on albums that just make it come out. You know, that's just putting your ear and just making it the sonics right. You know, I put a J37 plug in on my master so it can give it that tape saturation. So, see, in the intro, I ain't even got the kick in yet, but I got that. Ooh. Whew. And a lot of the stuff is muted. The stuff y'all see that's muted, I had in there before, but it was just too much. It didn't let the record breathe, so I just muted. Instead of deleting it, I just muted. So if y'all asking, what is these things muted? It's just a lot of other things that, you know, was going on that I didn't like. Like I play, let's see. See, this is a different loop that was created that just didn't go with this vibe. So if I would, now it's too much going on. So I just mute it. Hear the difference? It's too much going on. You get clouded. Yeah, that click is pin, that kick.
You're my lighthouse in the storm, got me safely through the sea. As I travel through the valley, I know you're right here with me. Never lost to find my way. You always make a way for me.
It's a double kick, so you hear how the first one is punching, do-do. It's like a different tone, do-do. Instead of having your kick, do-do. Like velocities matter. Velocities matter. Do-do. Do-do. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, this is the record. And, you know, I had fun doing it. Definitely was a learning experience. Here are my keys too. I didn't do a lot. Listen to my keys. 3-finger chords. One note. This is the bridge. You ain't got to play out on records. Some records just cause fade out 2, 3, 4. I didn't want him on that part. When everything come together, it's a masterpiece. So, you know, got my pads. Make it sing, man. I put an S1 imager on there as well. My SSL comp, just so it can cut when it's supposed to. The pad is not playing through the whole song, see? It's not playing through the whole song, nor is my keys. So you just gotta know when to put.
I live to tell the stories how you went through the fire, left with the flame, carrying.
Think about, you know, find the loop.
Waka Flame.
I call these transitions. So
You're my lighthouse in the storm, got me safely through the sea. As I travel through the
hear that? The sample. Yep. So you got that little effect, and that's how Voyage go. Y'all get the record, go buy it, stream it, YouTube it, go just look at the record. It's an amazing record. It feels good. I'm just trying to bring some different sauce to music, period. You know, not just the gospel industry. You know, I'm heavy in the gospel industry because that's my roots, but I'm bringing the mainstream side over as well and saying it's okay, you know, to happen. You know, you got to think of Kanye too. Kanye did it. Kanye was one of the first, you know, geniuses to do it, and bring that whole like vibe to the gospel. And it's okay, you know. I don't have, the only live instruments I got on here is guitars, you know, bass and lead guitar. Everything else is in the box, you know, and that I created along with Elijah. But yeah, feel good record. Thank y'all. This is Voyage. I need you to bump it. Turn the volume up, baby, you know. We in the kitchen.
Chains were broken from my slaver.
Want to thank you for making it to the end of this episode of In the Kitchen with D-Lo. If you want to check out more, make sure you check out the links down below or check out this video right here.